Okay, well, so Shannon, here we are having this conversation that last night we decided, I guess, on a spur of the moment to have and to share. I want to answer this question, but first I'm going to ask you, why are we here, and how did we get to this moment?
That's a good question. I think that we're here because it's the right time. The universe, God, wanted us to be here today. It's we're here because it's the conversations we've been having like for ages, right? Since I met you 5 years ago when we did our coach training together. And I just felt like since then we created our own mini group where we're just having like deep, meaningful conversations during COVID, and it just evolved. So every time I talk to you, I go, wow, that was so valuable because it every time we talk, you leave that conversation leaves me feeling empowered, makes me feel good, make me feel seen, heard. And I'm like, I would like for people to actually listen to this or hear about this or just be part of this.
Oh wow, I'm honored. I'm really honored by that. And well, my answer to that question is I'm here because I've been inspired by you. Um, Both you and I have had some health things to look at recently, and they are women's health things. And you've said several things as you've gone through your journey that have really inspired me. They've catalyzed changes for me. I was so excited to show you my sleep from last night because, something you said about how, as you've been healing, and I'll ask you to talk about that in a second, but as you've been recovering, and really strengthening and rebuilding yourself on your own health journey, you talked about rest. And you said something, I still see your face sometimes, and I hear you saying that the more I rest, the better I feel. Or there's something that you said like that. And the breadcrumbs, I'm here in this moment because the breadcrumbs that have led me to this moment have said, number one, Katie, as a coach, you are offering people help. Are you ready to ask for help? We always say we cannot take our clients any place we ourselves will not go.
Yeah.
So if I'm inviting people to step into getting support, I need to be walking the talk. Fitness, overall wellness is not an area of expertise for me necessarily.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, when you talked about the things that you were doing for yourself, and you talked about kind of the archetype of the woman, that entrepreneur, that high achieving woman who is potentially, maybe like I have been, high cortisol, therefore gaining weight no matter what you do, or craving sugar, all of those things. Um, it really caused me to take pause, listening to how you've approached your own health. So I'm here because I think it will be so valuable for us to have the conversations we've had in private, open them up, invite people to your wonderful living room that I feel you've created this little slice of heaven, I call it, because it's so cozy. Invite people to have the conversation with us here in this space as we talk about health, and as we start this journey, where I'm going to get your help over the next 12 weeks.
Yeah.
To work on my health. I talked about how at the end of these 12 weeks, I'd like to be able to get out of bed and have my ankles not hurt, because I'm carrying too much weight. I mean, yes, for sure, there's the vanity piece. I'm not going to lie. I would love to have a tiny waist, and all of that too. And I think the most important thing, and it's something like my husband often says, it's about my health at the end of the day. It's about my health and being well. So that's why I'm here. And I'm grateful to you for joining me on this journey, for letting me join you on this journey. So I kind of spilled the beans a little bit that you've had your own sort of journey of health leading up to this moment. Can you say a little bit about that? Okay, so I know you have your own health journey that you've taken. Can you tell us? Can you share, just for the purposes of others to know, what that has been?
Wow, yeah, I'm honored. I'm honored to sit here with you because I've shared with this I've shared this with you before, that I always feel like it's almost like God takes me through this process for myself first to learn, and then that becomes like a catalyst for other people to learn through. It's almost like I have to go through it first, and before I share more about my journey, it's more just I'm sitting here and it's more like you were holding space for me when I was going through it, and now it's kind of vice versa, which is I'm gonna take you through, help support you on your journey and take you through this journey of your own health and fitness, body and mindset. So it's almost like it's a dance. Like you gave it to me, I'm giving it back to you, and we're gonna give it to others, and they're gonna keep. It's a ripple effect, you know. So it's just, when I think about it, it's so beautiful because in this life, it's like we need each other. We learn from each other. We grow from our own experiences and from other people's experiences.
So true, so true. Yeah. No, actually, you said something really, really important, because one of my big things that I'm still working through, to be honest, is being willing to lean. I have not been comfortable to lean. I'm comfortable letting other people lean, but I haven't been willing to lean. So I'm grateful that we're stepping into that. That is also part of my process here, and my wanting to walk the talk. So thank you for saying that, because I think that's an important part.
Yeah. I think we heal in community, and that's what's missing at the moment. We're missing that community because our ancestors, they used to live, we had like lots of aunties and uncles and whatever, so we had communities growing up, and us living in diaspora, we're away from home. Obviously that's like a missing aspect that also affects our health and wellness journey. If you're a high achieving woman, of course you're here, you're a high visionary woman, you're chasing success, you're building and thriving in your career, but when we look at the wheel of life that we usually use in coaching, is like there's these aspects that are missing, and that impact our health that we don't know about. So having this space that we're potentially creating right now, where people can feel they belong, they're seen and heard, it's just gonna heal not just the physical, but also the mental and the emotional and spiritual aspect that we all need in our lives. Yeah.
Yes.
So I know I didn't answer your question about my own health and journey. Like the part of the reason why I brought that up is because I felt like so supported during my own journey, and that's why we're here. I felt so supported, and that helped me to heal so far. So I went through a journey where I was struggling with my hormonal, but I didn't even know the fibroids. I've been living with this thing for 3 years, and now looking back, I had those symptoms. I had so many things that were coming up, but I just pushed through because, you know, like no pain, no gain mentality, all or nothing. It's like I had put my own health in the back burner, and prioritize as a coach that's helping other people to get better. I remember one time I had so much pain. I was on my cycle, as on my period, and I went to the gym to train a client, and I had so much pain, and she said, Shannon, like, you can go home. And I said, no, we have to finish the session. She's like, no, yani khalas, go home, you know, because I couldn't cancel the session because I had put my work first, other people first, and I was in pain. But because I knew, like, as a woman, this is just period pain, it's normal. Like, you just gotta do what you gotta do, you gotta suck it up and make it happen. I had to wait until when my body really collapsed, when the pain was so much for me to take action and to prioritize my own health. And it's so sad that I had to wait to go to the doctor or an operating table for me to realize, wow, like, I come first. That oxygen mask that I was telling people to put on themselves, I have to actually embody that. I have to live it and not just talk about it. So that was like more a surreal moment for me where I'm like, you cannot heal, either if it's a mom, they cannot heal their kids before they heal themselves. You cannot take care of anyone. You cannot take care of anyone, whether it's your business, your family, your parents, your kids, your spouse, until you put yourself first. And how do you do that? Is by getting in tune with your own body, being in touch with your body, with your being in your body, being comfortable and being with the uncomfortable parts of your body. And I think, yeah, that's why this is so important for us to have this kind of conversation. Like, how do you know that you are uncomfortable in your own body, or how do you sit with the discomfort when you gain a little bit of weight, when your hormones fluctuate, when you having cramps on your period, when um, just facing any health challenges. You're not fitting in the dress that you used to fit 5 years ago. You're having a breakout on your face. You know, you're not sleeping because of cortisol or stress or any hormonal issues, because that's such a big deal now with PCOS, fibroids, endometriosis. Like, there's so many things that's going on right now that's affecting us. And how do you maneuver and deal with that? So I would like to hear about your own journey, because I know you mentioned about you having PCOS, and I know you've tried a few things. I'm gonna let you like talk about it.
Yes, well, you see me nodding knowingly because you just hit on so many things that really resonate. I mean, one, you talked about the kind of the no pain, no gain mentality, which, by the way, I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with that. It's just, as someone who I've clearly hit a wall in terms of that approach, the no pain, no gain approach, and I'm now recalibrating and from a health perspective, looking for an alternative that really resonates. So what got me here? What had me hit the wall? I've had jobs where, yeah, I've worked 24 hours straight. I've done it multiple times. Like, just, I mean, more than 24 hours, because you wake up, you do the 8 hours, you go through the night and do another 8 hours. I've done that. And was using coffee, to keep me going. Um, and just feeling kind of invincible for a while. Feeling invincible for a while, but of course, not knowing that I was totally just unbalancing myself. And honestly, at the time, not experiencing weight gain or any of that, but that was in my late 20s, early 30s. Even, I mean, up until maybe even my late-ish 30s, able to live like that. And then at some point, as you said, getting to the point where I remember the moment. Actually, I remember the moment. I had a huge. I know now that it was a huge cortisol spike.
Yeah.
Because I just felt this. It was almost like a tingling in my body, and I couldn't sleep, and I was very stressed about something in particular.
Yeah.
At the time, I was in a job, and in that job, I needed to achieve some specific numbers, and I was thinking about the fact that I was not close to those numbers. And I felt the stress just surging through my body, and that was a turning point for my health. But I'm the kind of person, I'm not that easily in touch with my feelings. So I'm a bit of a personality nerd, and I work with my clients. I like to work with personality, and my personality type tends to have awareness of one's own feelings as a blind spot. And so, yeah, I was a bit disconnected. So, and I think that is part of what helped me to have this strong grind. I had an ability to just grind. You talked about being in the diaspora. I was also thinking about, look, people may tend to assume that because I'm a woman, because I am a person of color, whatever assumptions they might have. And so I had this mentality of I need to make sure I give them zero opportunity to think that I am less than. I will be the most stoic, intellectual, thorough, badass, that I can possibly be, so that there is no room to make up a story about, that I don't belong there. And it was tiring. But I didn't know how tired I was, because I was just really, really trying to make sure that I represent my people, represent, and also to survive, not only to survive, but to represent well. And so I spent years in that. And at some point, found myself severely out of balance. So I'm here starting this journey of coming back to balance. I'm grateful that I'm starting to do some really great learning around. I mean, there's just some common stories that I've started to hear, and I'm curious about whether I think you've been seeing the same. I've started to hear these common stories about, look, I tried doing what I've always done to rebalance myself, and it just isn't working. And that sort of got me looking at how slowing down was the big theme. Right? Slowing down, which was initially disappointing, because first of all, I had the habit of grinding, so I love to grind, especially in my workouts, in my life. I was doing everything. And so it was a bit, it was a bit like, really, I gotta slow down? But I mean, am I gonna waste time? Is this gonna work? And so I ultimately found myself just, I would open a magazine, there'd be an article about slow down. I'd open YouTube, there'd be a person on YouTube talking about slow down. I talk to you, you're talking about slow down. So at some point I had to say, you know what, Katie, maybe you're getting a hint. Maybe you gotta slow down. And so that has been something that I've been really exploring. So what that's meant for me is I don't do HIIT workouts anymore. I love HIIT, but I don't do HIIT workouts anymore. I'm doing slow weighted workouts. I definitely am not pulling all-nighters anymore. I mean, the big message that has come through for me is to prioritize sleep, prioritize rest, and this whole idea that my body needs to feel safe. My body needs to feel safe for me to be well, and for me to drop the pounds that are making me so uncomfortable in my clothes and my body, etc. So I've really started to embrace that. But also the idea of, practicing self-acceptance wherever I am. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know that I'm fully there yet, but I do, as we're on this journey together, I do want that to be an important part of what I'm looking at, is that even though this is not the ideal body, how do I love this body, so that I am practicing that safety. So anyway, so those are all the things that have swirled for me after what you said, after what you shared in terms of the things that happen. I mean, that's what has happened for me. So I'm super curious. Are those themes that you are hearing too? Are those themes that have been relevant for you too?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I was like, yeah. Because I see it. I've had these conversations. It's so interesting that we're having this conversation, because just 2 days ago I was coaching someone, and they're taking a break, and they were asking me for advice, because she's a fellow coach, and she was asking me, so I'm going on a break, I'm taking a break from everything, and I know I've coached you so many times where I took a break, and I've recovered from burnout. I mean, it's an ongoing journey. And she asked me, so what am I going to do, like, because I'm stepping into a doing nothing mode. and I'm taking a 6 weeks break. What am I going to do? And she was asking, what did you do when you took your break? So people don't know. And this is mostly like for high achievers. And you've hit so many knots here, especially if you're living abroad, you've come here with a goal, with targets, with that mindset, your grind mode. And for most people, it's so sad. They wait until, you get that big punch, you're in a hospital bed, for you to be like, whoa, I gotta slow down. I gotta take breaks. For most people, we wait until that time because there's always signs, but so most people don't know what to do other than that, because society has conditioned us to be like, chase that success. But one thing I've learned in my journey is like, what I've been done recently is I had to redefine what is success. Why am I chasing this success? What is it actually? And why am I chasing this? And once I sat down and redefined what are my values now, what does success mean to me? What do well, that just was more like a wake up moment. And I realized I value myself first. I value being in alignment where my body, my mindset, my spirit, they're all working together. It doesn't mean like all the time, but I know most people say that, I'm infatuated with this B word. Most people say like the balance doesn't exist. Honestly, I think for myself, because people have different experience, it does. Because the moment where I tapped into that alignment and balance, I started to sleep. I went through a whole 2 years with waking up every day at 3 a.m. 3 a.m. I'm just awake. I will go to bed at 9 or 10, and I was wearing like Whoop just to track my sleep, and then I stopped tracking it because maybe I thought it's the gadgets, and I did everything. I listened to all the podcasts about sleep. I did everything. I stopped eating late at night, and it was just like I was just wide awake, and then the brain fog comes in, and then the tired eyes, and then the body just gets tired. And if you're a person that's training, like the injury in the gym, so it's not until I kind of had to take a step back, like surrender, like from everything, just take so many steps back and just look at my life from an angle. And I'm like, okay, Shan, this is your life. This is your sleep. This is your health. This is your body. This is your mindset. This is the success you want to create. This is the projects, the things that I'm working towards. Why am I grinding so hard? And it was scary moment, I'm not gonna lie, like to surrender if you're a hyper productive person, and then to go from hitting 100, you're structured, I'm a routine person, I'm a structured person, into waking up and being like, I don't have a structure today, I don't have plans today. It was very uncomfortable, but once I leaned more into it, it's the best thing I did for myself, because I just have this peace that you cannot put a price on it.
Yeah. Well, you said several things. First of all, you raised some powerful questions that should be answered, so we need to circle back to those. Like, why were you grinding so hard? But I won't ask you that yet. I do wanna. I mean, so you've shared something important in terms of having that ability to let go of structure. For people like me, who maybe we do end up having to have some kind of structure. I mean, look, I'm not a mom, but I know for moms, kids have to go to school, people have bedtime routines, people gotta eat, they gotta do this, they gotta do that. And yeah, what is the code
For the structure.
Yeah, for the structure.
So I think that, so it's not about, because I think most of us, and I'm speaking for us, like hyper achievers, hyper productivity, visionary women, we take something and we just lock it, and it's like, this is it, and we just go. The way I would visualize it, it's like you hop on a bike and you just go. You don't You don't look on the side, you don't look at the road, you just focus like you're in a competition because you're wired to want to win, to get to the finish line. So structure is good, it's very meaningful, it's like discipline. You know, in fitness, like you have to lock in, right? But is how do you, depending on where you are today, like having a bespoke, like checking in with your body, checking in, like having a weekly, week to week or month to month or 6 month, where you kind of check in and reflect, is this really serving me? Is it really working? How is it impacting my health, my hormones, my mindset, my finances, my family, my environment? How is this impacting? So like checking around, is it still, do I need to hop off this bike and take a break? Do I need to get some water? Do I need to stop by the road and say hi to the stranger or something? Do I need to rest? So it's just like bringing the that alignment part, bringing that mindset into it, where you're not just following it because it's a decision that you made, because we're changing, we're growing, we're evolving. And I think what you used to do in your 20s, you mentioned about something like doing heads. It used to work. I used to throw my body down doing burpees and box jumps like every day, twice a day. I would work out. I can't work out like that anymore. I still do hit once a week, but my priorities have changed because depending on where I want, where I'm going, I know when I'm in my 50s, 40s, 60s, 80s, I want to be strong and healthy. And I need to start doing unilateral workouts. I need to start doing more, building more muscle. So I need to start working now for the body that I'm going to be in the next 40 years. And that just doesn't happen when you're just following a structure and not rethinking and evaluating and checking in. So that's the only thing I'll say, like just reflecting on where you are and the goals that you had, the goals that you made yesterday, because the goals that you made yesterday, potentially they're not the goals that you're thinking. If you're checking deeper, potentially today that's not what you really want. So it's like just every day you're like peeling that onion and going deeper into your core of who you are, because I think we only have one job here, and it's like to master ourselves, like while we're here, right? That's what I think.
I love that. Well, and so speaking of sort of self mastery, that's what these next 12 weeks are for me, mastering myself. I think it's not in the sort of grinding type, you know, way we often think about it. I mean it in terms of, I love what you said, where I'm trying to go now and where my focus is now. And what I'd like to do over these 12 weeks is to learn from your system. I want to work your system, and I'd love for us to share with everyone where that lands me in 12 weeks. And also to invite others to join us on the journey.
Yeah.
So I'll share with you that my goals,
Yeah,
but are that by the end of these 12 weeks, I would like to have dropped enough weight that my ankles are comfortable when I get out of bed. That perhaps my waistline is a little tighter.
yeah,
I want to practice more peace, so that, you talked about the waking up at 3 a.m. Inspired by you, I am sleeping a lot better. And and I want to continue that.
Yeah.
I want to continue that. I want that to become much more habit, much more tendency.
yeah.
So I want to do the thing. So I want to find out from you, what is this system that you developed for yourself, this way, this code that you developed for yourself, and what is my action plan for the next 7 days, for people who are curious and maybe want to join along.
First of all, I'm excited.
Me too.
I am really, really excited for you because it works, and I'm excited for you to experience that, where you're feeling comfortable in your body and you're loving her and she is loving you back, because she does that. Once you love the body and she feels safe, she loves you back. She listens. It's like, okay, I want you to drop some weight. she's going to do that because she's feeling seen, heard, and understood. So I am excited for you on this journey. Uh, so 7 days, what you're going to do. So first is, I already see you there. Mindset wise is you want it. You want this transformation. You want this change. So that's like the most important aspect, is that you wanting it. Two is support. You do have me as your accountability and support partner. So, questions, anything, just throw them my way. Three, I love that you mentioned you've been sleeping. So that's a good thing. We just continue with that. So I saw you showed me earlier, so you're tracking your sleep and you got like 7 hours. So with the sleep, we're gonna dial in a little bit more. It's like, do you go to bed at the same time every night?
No.
Okay. What time do you go to bed?
Oh man, it really does vary. My goal, I know that I feel super good. I feel super good if I go to bed at 9:30. I'm more often going to bed at midnight or after. But yeah.
So what is the realistic you can go to bed?
I think a realistic target. I really do think it's realistic for me to have my head on the pillow by 10.
Okay. So what if we say 10:30?
Okay. A little extra room.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 10:30. So 10:30 you go to bed. What time do you wake up?
Around, it's between 5 and 6.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So around 5 and 6. So if you go to bed early, you need to, we're going to dive deeper into the week. So this week is just like, so 10, you start to wind down away from the screen. You put something, chamomile tea, some tea, just something to make you relax.
Have that ritual.
Have a night routine. You can, if you can develop your own ritual and then just come and share with us next week. But that's the thing, like just try the consistency of going to bed at the same time, and then just track that for a week and come tell us what your body feels like after. So one is the sleep, and then I know we mentioned about working out, is movement. So I would say steps. Are you doing any walking at the moment?
I am. No, I am on the 10,000 steps a day goal thing.
Are you hitting it?
Not consistently. Sometimes I'll make it to 6,000. Sometimes I'll make it to 10,000. So I'm still trying to figure out the routine that lets me squeeze it all in.
Okay.
Yes.
So I have two tasks for you.
Okay.
So this week I would like for you to go to bed consistent, practice that. So around 10 to 10:30, go to bed, try to have a night ritual, make your own and come share with us.
Okay.
I'm gonna share my own after, but I would like to see what you're doing instead of me adding first.
Okay.
And then I would like for you to walk 30 minutes a day, 3 times a week.
That's very reasonable. That's very doable.
30 minutes, like same pace. Like if you go on a treadmill, you do speed of 5 or 4, and you just walk that for 30 minutes. So I want that consistent pace. Or if you go outside in the park or whatever. So it's not like a slow, it's not fast, it's just like consistent.
Well, I tell you what I do. There's a mall right next to my the building where I live. I go and I walk around that mall, and I know exactly how many loops equal 1,000 steps. So I will do my 30 minutes of walking at the mall.
Yes. So my target, I've set the bar low, but you can set it high. So just 3 times a week for 30 minutes. I want that. You can share that with me, and then we take it from there.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it. I'll let the people know how it goes.
That was so exciting.
Mm-hmm. It is. Well, and I want to say thank you. Thank you for going on this journey with me to not only work on my body, but also to practice a new kind of vulnerability. This is a new thing for me, to open up the kimono, so to speak, and let people see me work through an area that is where I don't feel like I'm at my best. So I can't think of a better person to do that with. You're a wonderful friend and a trusted expert in this area, not only because of your training, but you've walked the talk and you've done it. So thank you for letting me follow in your footsteps in this area, and excited to share with the people what we learn, and inviting other people if they want to join us on the journey, if they want to join me as well and go to bed by 10:30 consistently and do the steps. Come along on the ride with us.